And I just got one more thing to say. How about them Cowboys?
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, here on YouTube, back with another video on America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. So if you're DC for life, hit that subscribe button and join the ACF family and drop a like on the video because it helps out tremendously. But after the humiliating loss to the Green Bay Packers during Super Wildcard Weekend, all I have seen from Cowboys haters as well as some in Cowboys Nation is how we should have to move off of Dak Prescott. Dak's not it. Dak doesn't want a ring. If the Cowboys want a legitimate chance at a Super Bowl, they need to trade Dak Prescott. Forget the ramifications something like that would do to the team, but we got to move on from Dak Prescott. On yesterday's episode of Get Up, Mike Greenberg, Dan Graziano, Harry Douglas, and Tim Hasselbeck talked about the dilemma the front office of the Dallas Cowboys are in when it comes to Dak Prescott and his upcoming contract negotiations. So we're going to take a listen to those two clips that I got for you today. Then we're going to come back and unpack my Raw and Uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and take a listen to Tim Hasselbeck.
He has them directly over a barrel with his contract and everything else. How does this thing get sorted out in your mind?
Yeah, I think they extend him. They make, what he's making and how that counts against the cap more digestible. They push it out. They're going to end up paying for it later, again down the road, which
but
typically
This
happens.
year. Do the deal this season. Long-term deal, all that. Give him the money. Highest paid quarterback, all that stuff this year.
Yes. So you can push the money out further. It sounds crazy. So you can push the money out further and do the other things that you need to do on offensive line, getting bigger in your front, addressing the running back position. Yeah, you do the deal now to push the money out. And so people say, but do we believe that he's the guy? You have to. This is the bed that you made by playing chicken with him years ago on his contract. So I don't believe you have a choice because I don't really know what the other option ends up being at the position. You're going to get worse at the position than better if you're trying to move on from Dak Prescott right now.
All right, Cowboys Nation. Here's a former quarterback that played in the NFL telling you that his contract should be done now. The Dallas Cowboys should get Dak Prescott's extension done so that the rest of the pieces can be put in place so the team can start developing their culture and their identity for the upcoming year. The Cowboys are notorious with playing chicken and waiting until the last minute. Jerry Jones has gone on record saying deadlines make deals. Jerry, deadlines make salary cap crippling overpayments. Deadlines make a quick and rash decision. You might want to take what these former players are trying to tell you to heart. Get the deal done. Now on to the next clip. This clip is a Harry Douglas trying to get the Joneses and those who want to move on from Dak Prescott and Cowboys Nation. He's trying to get them to know it would be crazy to move off of number 4 right now. So I'm going to play that clip and then we're going to come back and unpack my Raw and Uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, take a listen.
Quickly, Harry, I mean, we've been through Micah Parsons' brother and C.D. Lamb's mother. Does that stuff matter? It feels like it kind of went in one ear, now it's kind of out the other. Does that stuff make any difference anymore?
Not when it comes to you talking about your money and wanting your contract if you're Dak Prescott and also if you're Jerry Jones trying to decide what you need to do in those regards. I think when you look at the state that they're playing in Texas, there's no state income tax, so you get to pocket a lot more money, more so than other players do across the board, unless they're in Florida and Tennessee, and I think Nevada is the other state. But I think Dak Prescott should be extended. I'm with Tim. I don't see how you're going to get better as a football team, going to another guy at the quarterback position. if you feel like your Super Bowl window, in which I know we talk about this a lot, and it makes me cringe because this team hasn't even been to an NFC Championship game since the damn Ice Age, I should say. But we continuously talk about them as being Super Bowl contenders. But for Dak Prescott, I don't know what you're going to get better than him at the quarterback position right now.
Why did Mike Greenberg have to bring up the family beef right after the Green Bay Packers loss? Even he said it went through one ear and out the other with the guys. Isn't that what we want the players to do? Ignore the BS and focus all your attention on the game of football. Now it's an issue when they do that? Come on, Greeny. Anyhow, Harry Douglas agreed with Tim Hasselbeck and the majority of Cowboys Nation when we say get the deal done. The longer you wait and try to play games with Dak, the more expensive it's gonna be. You played chicken with him the first time, and he won, causing Jerry and Steven to be in this very predicament you find the Joneses in now. To keep it a buck, Dak ain't even said anything about being paid the highest quarterback in the NFL. His agent hasn't said anything about him being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. The 4- and 3-letter networks have been saying it. How about we allow Dak to speak on his contract before we jump to the conclusion of being the highest paid quarterback? Y'all ready for my Raw and Uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Whenever I go to these Dallas Cowboy fan groups on Facebook or read the comments in one of my videos, I see those people who say, we should move on from Dak Prescott and go in a different direction. When you ask them what a better option would be at the quarterback position, they come up with the most outlandish alternatives to a Dak Prescott-led team. I've read that the Dallas Cowboys need to trade Dak Prescott, who has a no-trade clause in his contract, by the way, and start either Trey Lance or Cooper Rush. The former was traded from a team that the Dallas Cowboys seem to be inferior to in the San Francisco 49ers. And the latter has hit the open market before, and no one would give him a starting position. I'm not trying to throw any shade on either of these players, but not one could get a starting job with any of the teams in the league. The fact that these fans who want to see Dak Prescott gone can't see that, y'all, that's pretty alarming, y'all. The Dak haters will try to convince you of Cooper Rush's ability by talking about the 5-game stretch he played when Dak Prescott injured his throwing hand. They'll be like, Cooper Rush had CeeDee Lamb looking good when he was in the game. When you go to the statistics, they tell a completely different story. Cooper Rush came in for Dak Prescott during the 4th quarter of the first game of the season. He closed out the win over the Bucs. The next week, he started against the Cincinnati Bengals. CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 75 yards, no touchdowns. The next game against the Giants, CeeDee Lamb had 8 receptions for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. The next game against the Commanders, Lamb had 6 receptions for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. Things were looking up. He was about to get his 100-yard game under Cooper Rush. But during the game against the Rams, CeeDee Lamb left the game with 5 receptions for 53 yards and no touchdowns. Then on to the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles won 26-17. During this game, Cooper Rush threw 3 interceptions and had a quarterback rating of 37.3. He threw 1 touchdown to Jake Ferguson. That touchdown didn't come until the 4th quarter, making the score 17-20. We had a chance. 7 minutes later, the Cowboys defense give up another touchdown to Devontae Smith, putting the game out of reach. As for CeeDee Lamb, he had 5 receptions for 68 yards. If Rush did anything during those 5 games where he started, he made CD look a little pedestrian. Also, if we're talking like Chris Broussard from First Things First and giving Cooper Rush that Dak Prescott criticism, we would have considered the teams Cooper Rush played tomato cans. Out of the 5 teams that he played, 2 were above 500. One was the Cincinnati Bengals during the 2nd game of the season, and the other, the Philadelphia Eagles. He won 1 and he lost 1. The other 3 teams were below 500. As far as Trey Lance, I just don't think he's ready to lead this team. He may be equipped to lead the Minnesota Vikings or the Denver Broncos, but with a stage and a brand like the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if he's up for it mentally. I don't know if he's up for the mental challenge. People who know look at the Dallas Cowboys through a realistic lens and can see that the quarterback position is a tough position to play, but even tougher when it's the star on your helmet. Plus, the offensive juggernaut Kyle Shanahan gave him away to the Cowboys. A rival, an NFC rival, spans over years for peanuts. A 4th-round pick. Don't you think the team who drafted him knows his capabilities at the quarterback position? There's a reason why the 49ers fans beg Dallas Cowboys coaching and fans to put Trey Lance in. It's not because he's the answer. Another alternative the haters say is the Cowboys should look to the draft to replace Dak Prescott for the 2024 season. This is my issue with some fans and the NFL as a whole. Y'all think it's just leave college and become a star. Plug and play. The higher you go in the draft, the more you're expected to go into the NFL and automatically get it. What happens when you don't get it? What happens when a team goes to the draft and drafts a quarterback in the 1st round and he bombs? He's worse than what you had already had at the quarterback position. You find yourself in quarterback purgatory. We've been there, Cowboys Nation. Why in the hell would we want to go back? Especially if we're trying to go all in and win a Super Bowl now as opposed to down the road. Also, going in the draft to find the replacement when at the moment it's totally not necessary is a huge gamble. You can actually sit back and think about it. Do the risk outweigh the reward when it comes to that? We know that we can get to the playoffs with Dak Prescott leading this team. We know that we can win the division title with Dak Prescott leading this team. We also know what kind of football the Dallas Cowboys can play when we are firing on all cylinders. Now, if the front office of the Dallas Cowboys could work with Dak, get his deal done, and attain the correct pieces the team needs in order to correct the mistakes from 2023, I feel we got a shot at a deep playoff run and a possible NFC championship. There's only one quarterback that can do more with less, and that's Patrick Mahomes. No other quarterback in the league today has shown that ability. Not Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow or Matt Stafford or Jalen Hurts or even Brock Purdy. They needed pieces put together for them to succeed. Let's stop expecting Dak to be Patrick Mahomes, and let's get him the pieces he needs to succeed. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What did you think about what Tim Hasselbeck and Harry Douglas had to say? Do you think Dak Prescott can lead this team to an NFC championship if given the right pieces? Let's have that conversation in the comments section. If you're new to the channel and appreciate the content, drop a like on the video. It truly helps the channel with the algorithm and allows us to get this content out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans. If you're DC for life, win, lose, or draw, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can stay up to date whenever I go live or whenever I release a video. The reality of Dak Prescott getting an extension is all but certain. It would be financially irresponsible for the Dallas Cowboys to trade Dak, not extend him, or allow him to walk. Jerry Jones is all about his money. Do you truly think he would allow a $59.4 million cap hit and another $35 million cap hit next year after they traded Dak and he's not even on the team? The math isn't mathing, but the math ain't that hard, y'all. Let's get this deal done, Jerry. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out.